Hey bees, I'm Marie from Humblebee and Me, and today we are making a gorgeous silky and conditioning Camellia seed oil hair serum. So I remember when I was first sort of getting into DIY skin and hair care, I was very taken with the idea of finding an oil that I could, use in my hair, like a hair serum, and really quickly learned that my hair really can't handle a lot of oil. I bought Camellia seed oil because it was described as being wonderful and light and had been used in hair care for centuries in Asia. I was like, this is gonna be amazing. So I ordered some and I got it and I tried it on my skin, and sure enough, super silky, absorbed into my skin super fast. I'm like, perfect, it's gonna be great for my hair. And so I took some in my palm and rubbed it through my hair and I was like, all right, do I look gorgeous yet? Like, no, I looked like I hadn't washed my hair in like an exceedingly long time. I looked really very greebly. So turns out me and sort of pure just liquid oils for the hair isn't awesome. If your hair is like mine, one of the better ways to get oil in your hair is to dilute it in something that isn't oil. So your top two choices, the ones that I sort of see the most often in store-bought products, are water and a light silicone like cyclomethicone. So both of these you can disperse the oil in it. With the water, obviously you would need an emulsifier, and then you can sort of have a reasonable amount of it product and then disperse that through your hair, and then the dilutant, the water, the cyclomethicone evaporates off and then just sort of leaves this sort of generally very small amount of oil well distributed throughout your hair. In order to get a bit of that diluting, I decided to do two kind of special things with this serum. So the first thing that I did is I included some BTMS 50. So BTMS 50 is a conditioning emulsifying wax. So I know somebody is probably going to ask me if they can use a different emulsifying wax, and sort of the whole point here is that it's both conditioning and an emulsifying wax, so I really don't recommend it. And so the gorgeous thing here, we're getting both the conditioning action from the BTMS being cationic, so it makes our hair feel, oh, it's so nice. And I've actually got a bunch of it all over my hands right now, and it also feels really lovely on the skin. But then it also will emulsify with water. So if you're applying a little bit of this to wet hair, it'll emulsify with the water that you've already got in your hair. Or if you want to put a little bit of it in your palm and then work it up with a bit of water in your palm and then apply that to your hair, you can do that too. So it's a bit, honestly, it's actually quite a lot like a cleansing oil. It just uses oils that I would really generally consider to be much too expensive to put in something that I'm going to wash down the drain. But that gives you, two different ways to incorporate a bit of water into the product and create your own custom dilution level at the time of use, so that if you know that your hair really doesn't tolerate a lot of oil, you can incorporate, more water at the time of use. Or if, if you're going to put it in maybe at the end of a shower versus when your hair is dry, you can also customize it that way. And because we're not adding water to the product, you don't need a preservative, which I think is also very, very cool. The other thing that I've done to make this hair serum sort of more usable for people whose hair doesn't love a ton of oil is included some of this. So this is Neossance Hemisqualane, and full disclosure, they did send me this bottle as a sample, and guys, this stuff is so cool. You can see here, hopefully you can see at least against the white background, there's another shot of it later in the video. It has the consistency of water, and it feels just sort of like slightly oily water on the skin. Like, it is so light. If you are familiar with the feeling of cyclomethicone, just plain cyclomethicone on your skin, it's actually really very similar to that. It's such a neat product. So this is squalane made from plant sugar, so it's vegan and biodegradable, and it's so cool. So according to the folks who make this and Lotion Crafter, which is the one place that I know that you can buy this product, when it comes to hair care, it does a bunch of really cool stuff. It helps protect your hair. It actually provides some heat protection, which is really, really neat. It protects against breakage, and it makes it easier to comb, and it makes your hair feel lovely. And it's just like, there's all these really, really cool properties going on in this like sugar-derived squalane, which is so cool. Now, if you don't have this, I would probably recommend using something like cyclomethicone instead. Otherwise, you can use just all Camellia seed oil, but do remember that Camellia seed oil, while being a very light oil, is still much, much heavier than this really cool hemisqualane. So it will make for a heavier product. So just something to keep in mind. You'll want to be extra sort of judicious with use if your hair is as disinclined to absorb oils as mine is. I wanted to quickly show you how the product works in here. So I'm just going to take my hair down. It is still slightly damp from a shower I took like 5 hours ago. yeah, I'm just gonna take a small amount of product. So here is our pump bottle. Give it a bit of a shake here and dispense just the tiniest amount of product. Okay, that was way too much. So I'm gonna just sort of swipe some of that off and use that to make my arm feel nice. So just a really small amount of product for, again, for my hair. You know your own hair better than I do. And then I've just got it rubbed against my palm, and I'm gonna just work this through sort of my hair from about the ears down. I find that the hair closer to my scalp doesn't really need much oil. So this really does function as a leave-in conditioner as well as a serum, which I think is just such a cool dual purpose product. I comb that through there. It smells so good. And I can see here, now my hair's not so wet that I couldn't tell if there was way too much oil in it. So I can see here that my hair does not look at all greasy or oily, but it feels really lovely. My hands feel really nice. This part of my arm feels really nice from sort of the absorption and the conditioning of the BTMS, and then just the lovely like silky slip that both the Camellia seed oil and the Hemisqualane contribute. Yeah, no, I'm really, really happy with this product, and I hope you're really gonna enjoy it. So it's really, really simple to make. We're basically just melting together our heated ingredients, letting them cool and gain a bit of viscosity, and then adding our fragrance, essential oil, whatever you want or don't, and a touch of vitamin E, and putting in our bottles, and that's about it. So yeah, come on, let's go make a hair serum. So here are our heated ingredients. We've got 12% BTMS 50 or 25, 2% cetyl alcohol, 40% Neossance Hemisqualane, and 45% Camellia seed oil. So this Neossance Hemisqualane is such cool stuff. So here's the bottle, and you can see as the liquid moves around in there, it has the viscosity of water. It is such a neat product. So I'm just gonna grab a drop here and kind of pop it on my hand. You can see it just disperses, and it's so light. So this is, makes it absolutely wonderful in a lot of things. Like, it's got such wonderful slip to it. And so I love it in my foundation, but I also love it in hair products because it is so light, and my hair does not tolerate a lot of oil very well. So we're going to combine all of our ingredients. So this is going to be a 25-gram batch for reference. So I'm going to pop our wee beaker here into our water bath, which is just a small flat bottom saucepan that has about 1 inch or 3 centimeters of water in the bottom of it, and then a little silicone coaster. I just found this in the clearance section of a local kitchen store, and it's proven to be quite useful as these beakers have relatively thin bottoms. But I'm gonna go pop this on the stove to melt everything through. Probably take about 20 minutes. All right, so here everything is all melty, and you can see that it's a little milky looking, and I find for me, BTMS never really goes fully translucent or transparent when it's melted. So this just sort of seemed normal. But I'm just gonna leave this to cool so that we can add our essential oil or fragrance and get a good feel for its final consistency before we move it to our container. So now that I've dried off the outside of the container, I'm just going to transfer it to our nice cool countertop so it can cool a bit faster. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes, and this has got a nice viscosity going on. I'm really excited about sort of just, it's a little bit like heavy cream, like there's just a bit of consistency to it, so it's not too drooly. But it'll still incorporate really nicely through the hair. Whee! All right, so next up is adding a bit of vitamin E. Got here, I'm just gonna grab our scale as well. So we're aiming for 0.5%, which in this case is 0.125 grams. All right, sweet, 1 drop. And now it's time for our essential oils. For essential oils, I'm using a blend of labdanum and oak moss absolute. I got this from Elixir in Quebec City, and as you can tell, their labels are not hugely waterproof. But fortunately, it's the only essential oil that I bought there, so I know exactly what this is. I should really put a new label on it. Anyhow, I'm gonna do sort of a blob of labdanum and a drop or two of oak moss, and we'll sort of see how it smells. And when you see how the labdanum pours, you'll sort of know why I'm calling it a blob. and not a drop, because this stuff is super, super, super viscous. There you go. You can see that it's like thick honey. All right, that smells pretty darn amazing. So we are now ready to pop this in our bottle. So for this project, I've chosen this lovely little 30 ml black plastic bottle from Voyager Soap and Candle with a treatment pump. So it's just got a little wee pump top. I also love these bottles for foundation. So, because this, come back here, because this is in a container with a pouring spout and it's not hugely viscous, I'm just gonna free pour here, but a funnel might be a good idea if you aren't using a container with a pouring spout, or if you are perhaps a touch clumsy. So this is a 25 gram batch that I've made for this sort of 30-ish milliliter container. All right, let's give this a wee pump here. I do find that these ones take a little while to prime, but once you've got product coming up, there we go, you can really feel it. Ah, lovely. All right. Okay, well that feels beautiful and light and smells fantastic and has great slip. And there you go. You just made a beautiful silky and conditioning camellia seed oil hair serum. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember to check the description box below where you'll find all of the ingredients written out at the percentages used, and the link to this recipe on my blog where you'll find lots more information and research on the ingredients and the full written instructions as well. See you next time!